Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project, we're going to be replacing this outlet with a new one. Now this is a GFCI outlet, so we are going to replace it with the exact same one because the outlet itself has failed. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we turn off the power supply to this outlet. Once we're sure the power supply is off, then we'll start taking it apart. You probably want to get yourself something like this. You'll see it in my Amazon store down below. It's a non-contact voltage tester, just so you can make absolutely sure the circuit you're working on is not on any longer. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out these 4 screws right here so we can gain access to these outlets. All right, so let's get in there. Let's get started. Really, for this job right now, we're just going to need a screwdriver and we may need a pair of pliers, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, we'll just take the cover off. Next, we're going to remove these screws right here. We are going to remove all 4 of these screws, and the reason we're going to do that is because these 2 outlets are tied together with the wire that goes from this one over to this one, because these are actually, this is a GFCI outlet as well, but it's tied into this one. So that way you don't have all of the outlets along the way. This one's tied into this one, and so is the one on the other side. All right, so let's take these screws out here so we can access the back of the switch, and then we'll get this job done. Then we're just going to pull both outlets out so we can gain access to the back of them, because as you can see, everything is all tied together. Now there's tape on here, so we're just going to cut the tape off, just like that, so we can gain access to the screws underneath the bottom of it. Just like that. Okay. Next, we're going to unscrew these screws on the side here. You're going to make sure that when you put the new GFCI switch in, you make sure you look on the back right here, and it'll tell you where the load side is, and it's very important that you put the load side onto here, okay? You want to make sure you put these exactly as you took them off. Now remember what I told you on the back over here. It tells you right here that this is the load side and this is the line side. Line meaning that's where the current is coming in to the outlet itself. So line is the power going in, load is the outlet, and the other outlet that's going out to the outlets. So just so we don't have any mistakes, we're going to mark where the line is and where the loads are. The line is now there. Okay, so now we have our line marked, and these are our load. And next we're going to put these to the side like this. We're going to Loosen up that ground screw on the bottom. Okay, and you'll notice on here, it'll tell you on the back over here too, which one's the line and which one was the load. Now we're going to take our replacement and we're going to put our ground on first. Remember, this is all line. This is the one that's coming in. And if you look on the back, you'll see it says line. Okay, next we're going to come over here. Remember, this is all line. So we're going to put our line up on there. Right, line, and if you look on the back again right there, it'll tell you line right on the back. These two are the load side. Okay, now we have everything tight. Okay, next we're going to take our tape and we're going to wrap the tape around the outside like it was before. Okay, now it's ready to put it back in. Now after we have everything all connected up correctly here, we're going to push the wiring back into the box here and we're going to secure this back in place. So we're just going to bend the wiring back in here like this, just to get it into the box like this. Okay, we're just going to catch these two screws in here, just like this. Okay. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this one. Okay. Next we'll put our cover back over the top. Okay, now that we have the power turned on, we're going to come in here with our tester and we're going to test it just to make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. You can see that this one has the little green light that lights up in here, and this is the test. You press it and test it, and it actually pops the switch, all right? That tells me that this is live. We're going to plug it in. If you see the two lights are lit here and you look right here, it tells you everything is correct. So everything is set just the way it's supposed to. What I like about this GFCI tester is that you can press this button and you can test it to make sure that it works. So let's test it. And there it is. It popped just this one here and not the not the fuse on the electrical box. All right, so let's pull this out. Let's reset it. Let's test it here again. Here. And it pops right there. So you can see that this one is being fed by this one, and the same thing on the other one. So let's reset it. And there we go. Everything is set. You're probably wondering how I knew that this GFCI was no good. And the way I knew it is because when I hit the reset button over here, this would actually, periodically, the outlets would be dead. There would be nothing there. And I go over and I would just move the outlet, and this would turn back on, everything would come back up again, and it would be fine. So I had a feeling that this was bad. It's actually kind of common. They do periodically go bad. But what happened is I would come over to this unit here while it was in the wall, and I would just move it just a little bit, and it would light up, and everything would work perfectly. The switch behind me, as well as the one that's being fed off of it as well. That's how I knew that this unit was no good. Now, I want to point this out to you. I know we talked about this before, but you want to make sure where it says load and where it says line, you want to make sure that you put your wiring back on the correct way. Otherwise, it's not going to work at all. Now, this particular case, it says load up on the top right here, and that was on top up here, the load. On the other one, the load was down there. Not a big deal. It doesn't matter location as long as it's being powered up the correct way. All right, so we did connect everything up the correct way. We looked on the back, and it does come in very handy when they stick that paper on there telling you where the load side is, and not to forget to actually do it correctly. All right, if you like this video and you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. When you do subscribe to the channel, it'll come up a little bell. If you highlight that bell, you can pick your personal preferences. If you want to be notified of every upload, or you want to be notified of whatever period, whatever kind of upload you want to do. If you want to get some of them or all of them, it's personal preference. You can choose. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I hope I helped somebody out, and we'll get this job done. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.